Hello, fellow streamers. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Streaming. Today we have our week in review, and the focus, of course, is providing you with a streaming on the week in review, catch the highlights and achievement of the week. As you can hear, I've had a bit of a sore throat this week, so I'll try to keep this as brief and to the point as possible. I have to say, we hit a major milestone this week. I was invited to a podcast to talk about my journey and mindset and so on, which was great, leaving me with a great sense of gratitude. Not because I was, let's say, there, not because I was able to talk to a lot of people, but reading through the chat and the comments, I was really grateful that I was able to, in their eyes, provide some solid value and maybe even help give people a little bit of tool or a piece to be able to navigate their own challenges and obstacles. So that was the major highlight of the week. But what more did we achieve this week? Let's have a look. Let's open up and start with Twitch. Let's see if I'm picking the right window. So here we go. So not a lot of traction, but like we said, we're a beginner. People don't know us yet, and we're growing and grinding, right? But we still managed to piece together 0.9 average viewers, got 2 follows, streamed a total of 5 hours, 16 minutes, had 3 unique viewers and 1 unique shatters. Now, the bulk so far of my viewers are basically honestly just people logging on, looking to promote their design services and so on. But I still engage with them because it's great practice. And I won't know who is, let's say, a real viewer versus a not real viewer until I talk to them. So I treat everyone the same, and then they kind of sort themselves out, let's say. Seems like averaging it's just statistics, too little statistics to really be meaningful. But scrolling down here, we can see a few things. I'm making progress on a major milestone for Twitch, which is build a community, reach 50 followers. We're 2 out of 50. With 5 people chatting at the same time, 2 out of 50. Not something I'm actively working on other than just staying consistent and streaming for an hour a day and keeping at it. Now, what we do have achieved on the Twitch side is achievement unlocks. Yay! So we managed to do it's like clockwork level 3, which means that we need to stream for 12 unique days in the last 30 days. So check. Woo! It actually means a lot because this is, like I said in another video, these are activities that Twitch most likely sees as core success factors with streamers. I also unlocked the level 1 of what is thy bidding, reach 2 followers. And also level 2 of new day, new stream, which is stream for 8 hours in the past 30 days. So we are progressing in the achievements on Twitch, which is great, meaning we're doing what we're supposed to do. Streaming. Easy, right? So moving on to YouTube and how we're doing there. So during the past 7 days, we have new viewers. We have 30 new views on, or are these videos? New unique viewers, okay. So videos, 13 new unique viewers, and shorts, 34. So we are reaching more and more people. Of course, everyone would like the numbers to be higher, but they are what they are. And I'm growing the skill set of the mechanics and packaging. So we're not quite at that point yet. So we have not so many returning viewers, but still 2. So 3 returning viewers. That's pretty cool. Coming back to see the content. This one is major. We have 1 subscriber. That's really, it's like, whoa, nice. Because if we can get 1, guess what? We can get 1 more and 1 more and go from there. How are we doing on views then? So 61 views on videos and 44, so it's growing. We published 9 videos in the past 7 days and 4 shorts. My math now is 13 in total. And this one is quite interesting. Because I had this feeling that YouTube isn't pushing my content out. People not seeing it. I have to figure something out. But this tells me that it's actually exposed or kind of shown the videos 12,500 times. And 30.5% of those is that YouTube is recommending my content. Now, what does this tell me? I told you I was working on mechanics, right? The cool part is I thought I was not clickety-clacking, setting stuff like that, doing something wrong to where it just sits in my account. It doesn't get pushed out. No. Because we get the answer here. So we get 1,000 impressions this past week, meaning ability for someone to see my stuff about streaming. Only 0.3% click through and click the video to watch it. So here we go, working on the packaging, right? Now I can start to transition over the dynamics of it, which is the content, more emphasis on the title, more, let's say, pre-production with research, trying to figure out, let's say, what you as a streamer or aspiring streamer or struggling streamer even are looking for. And now I can start to focus and hone in on that skill set on how I can reach my content to you based on what you want to see and hear and listen to. So from these 0.3 clicks, we got 42 impressions. Average view duration is only 27 seconds. And the watch time derived from that is 32. I mean, as I would assume. Now, of course, these aren't by themselves not large numbers. But like I said, we are on the packaging step, which is telling me that, yes, what I was feeling like, we're here, great. We're packaging, we're putting stuff out there. 12,500 people had the opportunity to see our stuff. And now we just got to work at it, keep growing that skill set so that we can increase our click-through rate. Title is one thing I will be focusing on for the next week. Just creating a more enticing title, let's say. And I will also be looking into trying to figure out more what you as a streamer, aspiring streamer, struggling streamer, so on, are searching for on YouTube and see if I can't match the two and see what that does. That should, in theory, lead to more or like a higher click-through rate. But this makes me very happy. And confirming what I just said about impressions here, suggested videos. So a third, is it a third? No. Anyway, mathing, right? 30.5% of all the views comes from suggested videos, meaning, yeah, YouTube is pushing it out. This one is interesting. 24.8% actually search for something which got caught. This I'm very curious about because it means that the person searching was actively looking for something. Maybe this was related, maybe which was interested, but I'm curious the underlying parts. And then shorts feeds, 22.9. This is highly interesting to me because it also confirms that I am transitioning now into, if we see the impressions here as you are working the mechanics angle, doing the titles, content, stuff like that, and doing it and kind of, I wouldn't say master that skill, but to the skill where you're comfortable with it. So now that we can focus on the next step, which is really connecting and getting into the mechanics and getting these click-through rates. A really interesting page. On Instagram, I mentioned the podcast. I gained more followers, which I'm really happy about because I've had a challenge growing on Instagram. We did actually, while we're here, you can see here, we've changed our thumbnails. So I found out because like I said, during the week, I realized that all of my videos, except for one, was basically no views. And then it was, which one was it? That got 100, this one, 132 views. So I'm like, okay, so what can I do to try and improve, to lift this? So this one, 119. So I had this feeling that maybe I work with styles because I've heard that Instagram is key on like style and looks. So I try to improve it. And I'm seeing the base growth just increase, both as a result of the new followers, but also just improving the format. That's definitely something to be grateful for. And remember to celebrate those small wins, guys, because there's so much stuff every day that, are challenges and obstacles. So celebrate the small wins. It's really important because as you stack smaller wins on top of each other, they add up over time and will result in bigger and better wins. On TikTok, which is where we have been pushing content steadily, we average around 250 views for every video now going out there, which tells me that TikTok is giving it a fair shake, a fair chance of going viral, like reaching people. Here, I would say that the mechanic side of it is, as best as I can tell it, done. Now it's even more about the dynamics inside of the video to get that click-through rate or stay rate and so on. But we still managed to get 2,500 views, an increase from last week. with 161. Do I read this as percentage? Maybe more views, 8%. No, it's 8%. So it's 161 more than last week. Either way, up is good, right? And then we get, some reductions, but more views. That's good. Some highlights of the day for you page, so it pops up. Great. Streaming Zero to Here has also been searched for, probably from the podcast. And I just wanted to show you that. So here we are. You can also see the change in the thumbnail, or like the improved thumbnails. And here you see 282, 274, 264, and 264. And why I'm really happy about this, because even though of course I don't mind going viral, I haven't done that yet, but I know if I focus on the craft, the skill set, then these numbers is steadily, or like they are gonna grow. Because I want to be able to grow a skill set, have a skill set where I know that I can have something I want to go out there and do, like stream, share content, and so on. And I have that ability to know that if I do my bit, that I can get 280 viewers on it, which is where I'm currently at. And by continually having this, trying to be just a little bit better, incrementally over time, that skill will build over the next month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and onwards, right? So eventually, I'm going to be able to, just by natural progression, most likely end up going viral. And I would much rather have it happen that way, because then I would probably be in the position where I can go, interesting, why? And maybe be able to figure it out, and then maybe be able to learn the skill set of going viral. Or at least that's what my thinking is, compared to just going viral once, be super happy, not knowing what I did, and then not being able to repeat it and be like bummed out. Anyway, that's my perspective on it. So we're racking up views on TikTok. That's great. Let's keep moving on. New also is I set up a page on Facebook. Don't have a better link yet. It's this number, so I'm including it in my links all over. I haven't had the time to set this up fully yet, but it is up. That's another achievement, getting on more social platforms. I also added some new playlists over on YouTube. So there's a playlist for streaming motivation, and sometimes it can be tough. So I try to put in like some tidbit work, and it's a nice way for me to also change up the format of the videos and the content a little bit more, to just get the message out there based on what I'm learning, seeing, observing, mindset shifting myself, and so on, and just share that with you in a, let's say, easy to digest format. Probably just some research. Is nothing really, just more for my sake. Just I want to look into stuff, have it easily available. Started up a Q&A playlist. So please, because I got some podcaster come over from the podcast, ask great questions, turn that into video. So please, if you have questions, thoughts, I'm stuck or something related to streaming, go ahead and pop that into the comments or in the live chat whenever you see me on live on twitch.tv. And I also started a challenge here. So I will grow this playlist over time. And I hope that you're going to like the content that goes in there, the ease of use, having the videos a little bit categorized so you can pick and choose based on where you're at and what you want. And if I'm missing something, I'd love to hear from you. Just drop a comment and say what you're missing, or if you have a question or what you would look forward to seeing. So here we're also seeing, yes, so it was the podcasting in itself, Let's Talk Streaming. So we covered a lot of things in the past week in Let's Talk Streaming. We talked about stream scene composition, the importance of repurposing your stream into YouTube videos and other platforms. I went into research mode a bit, trying to figure out and reconstruct how I got my first Twitch viewers after 11 days of streaming. And I go through more of these, I know it might have been actually a normal video, not Let's Talk Streaming, but just look into tips for how to get that first viewer on Twitch, get the first 5, 10, 100. And even though part of that going 100 to 1,000 had like interviewed on podcast or collaborate in these types of things, I had an opportunity to do it now in the beginning phases, let's say, of streaming for me, because I'm on my, my hero to hero journey, and I'm just really getting started. So I took it, and it was really, really great. and yeah, got some likes and follows and growth out of it, and able to provide value to a lot of people. So it was great. Yeah, then I had a focus session where we actually went through and designed the improved thumbnails that you've seen now. I also go through some of my design thinking and how I go into there. I'm not a graphical designer, but I dabbled enough to where it looks better than it was before, and that's the goal, right? Don't try to get it perfect. Get something's better than nothing. Getting something a little bit better than it was yesterday. Keep improving over time, right? And in episode 13, I talk all about the podcast I was on and the importance of small wins and how to grow as a new streamer. So go check that out. And then yesterday, also as an output of getting asked questions, I created like a first very rudimentary video going over the, as I see them, mechanics of streaming. And it's more of like a process or like componental overview of the streaming flow that I have and working with everything from the actual streaming to repurposing and being on multiple platforms and so on. So that's a definite great watch if you're looking to understand, like in a bigger picture, what streaming is and how it interplays with other platforms and such. That was a lot. It's been a hectic week. It's been a growth week for sure. Hit a major milestone. And I'm just going to keep trucking like this, keep learning new things every day, keep being a little bit better, and keep sharing that with you all, for you all, so that you can be empowered to start streaming, keep streaming, or overcome obstacles, because that's what really gets me motivated and excited to do this, because it's just as much about your journey as a streamer as it is my journey. It's our journey. We learn together, we succeed together, right? So I'm going to leave you on that note. Have an amazing ending of Sunday or the day whenever you watch this. Drop a comment and a follow if you like the comments. Dislike the comments if you like the content I'm sharing. And I'll catch you in the next stream and in the next video. Have a good one.